Hi everybody, today I'm making my Nana's authentic homemade haluski. I don't use any special ingredients, it's not organic, it's the cheap stuff, basically from Walmart. I took the yellow onions, about 5 or 6 small ones, and I cut them up any old way. And they're here waiting to get put in the pot. I usually use my cast iron pot, but I'm making a big thing of haluski today, so I have to use my big pot. And I like using Blue Bonnet butter because when you melt it down, it doesn't turn watery like Country Crock. And I like having like the little bit of butter taste. I don't brown my cabbage or my onions, I more or less saute it, where most people, they brown theirs, and I don't know why they do that, but it doesn't taste as good, in my opinion anyway. So I'm not a measurer, I just more or less judge my stuff. So I take like a couple wooden spoonfuls of butter. Now this is how much butter I'm going to be using for all my haluski, so it's just basically a couple wooden spoonfuls. Okay everybody, I just added my onions to my melted butter, and every time you add something to your pot, always season it. That's called layering your seasonings. That's what I do, because otherwise it's going to be bland. I use pepper and kosher salt. I don't use a lot of salt because I don't like my stuff salty. You could always add salt at the table, but you can't take it away. But pepper, I use a lot of pepper because I think haluski should be a little on the peppery side, but that's just my opinion. You could use salt and pepper according to your taste. And I'm starting to cut my cabbage now. And as you can see, I have 2 heads of cabbage there. And the one over here, it has pretty much brown stuff here. I rip all this off and throw that away, and then I start cutting. And as you can see, I just cut it into shreds, and that's how I just throw it into the pot. Okay guys, all my cabbage is cut. It's all in my pot. Now I want to tell you, if your cabbage is a little dry because that was not a lot of butter I put in, just add a couple more wooden spoonfuls of butter as I did on top. Now what I'm gonna do is, like I said, I don't believe in browning my stuff, it's more or less sauteing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my lid on top of it, and I'm just gonna leave it simmer. Then I'm gonna make my homemade dumplings like my Nana showed me, and I will show it and pass it on to you guys, because I don't believe in putting those noodles that you buy in a bag in or anything else, because I think that ruins it. Okay everybody, it's been a half hour since I last checked in with you. We're going to start making the dumplings now. And I'm going to show you, this is the part you do have to measure. You need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. You need 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I use light salt. You need 1 cup of cold water and 1 egg. Now, I'll show you after I get it mixed up the consistency. You may have to add more water or more flour depending on how it comes out and depending on the humidity or the temperature of your kitchen. But I'll explain it to you and I'll show you. Okay guys, my dumpling mixture came out almost perfect. I guess I'll know when I start doing it. It kind of looks like kind of like gooey, but not real gooey. I mixed it with a fork, no hand mixers, no nothing like that. You just do a little, pour the water in. What I do is the measuring cup, I had the water in, I cracked the egg, put the egg in there, put the salt in there, and mix all that up together, and then just dump it all in together like that. And then I mix it with a fork. And then what I'll do is I'm gonna put it onto this plate. It's a flat plate, and that's how my Nana did it. And then I get a little pot. I don't like having a whole bunch of dumplings. I do a little bit at a time, take them out, and then put them in my pot of haluski. It takes a little longer, but believe me, it tastes a lot better. Do a few dumplings at a time, and then you know when they float, they're done. Because I don't like when the dumplings are real gushy. I like when they're a little bit al dente, when they're like kind of a little hard. You have it on the plate like this, and you just take a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect, just like this, and drop it like that. Go like this, drop it like that, and just keep doing that. You have to keep mixing it, and the longer it sits on the stove, the better it gets. It will get brown as it sits in the fridge and as it sits in the stove. So like I said, there's no need to brown it. I've heard of people putting sugar in it, apple cider vinegar. All that is total nonsense. It does not need any of that. Okay guys, my haluski and my dumplings have been simmering for about a half hour, 45 minutes, something like that. The dumplings, this is what they look like. They're not real doughy. They're pretty hard. I don't like them gummy. If anybody has any questions, just ask in the comments. I'll try to answer them the best I could. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Until next time, and until I have another recipe I want to share with y'all, stay safe